The greatest poets of our time, Green Day, once said, "It's something unpredictable, but in the end, it's right. I hope you had the time of your life." And Jurgen Klopp only has a few more days at the helm of Liverpool Football Club. While people are excited for where we're going in this new era of Arne Slot, it's important to remember where we've been, and now feels like the right time to reflect on some of the key moments of one of the most memorable eras in Liverpool's history. Klopp has seen many ups and downs during his near 9-year stint in charge, and today we're focusing on 10 of the most important, not all of which were good memories at the time per se, but would go on to become defining moments which would shape the Jurgen Klopp era at Liverpool Football Club. Welcome to Good Sport Reviews. My name is Lewis, and here are my picks for the 10 most defining moments of Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool era. Number 10, from doubters to believers. With the list being in chronological order, it makes sense to start off at the very beginning of Klopp's legendary reign as Liverpool manager, and with the first moment that made fans fall in love with the Dortmund legend. On the 8th of October 2015, Klopp was announced as the new manager of the Reds following the departure of Brendan Rodgers, and had come into the club at a real low moment. We just finished the following season 6th, and at the time of Klopp's announcement had only won 3 of our previous 8 Premier League matches. Klopp came in with so much expectation as a manager who would play an intense style of aggressive football and develop young players, similar to the way he did with the likes of Mario Götze, Marco Reus and Robert Lewandowski. And while this was all exciting, the fan base couldn't open their minds to the idea of winning league titles after disappointments in previous seasons, such as the 08-09 campaign under Rafa Benitez and the 2013-2014 campaign 2 years prior to Klopp's appointment. But in came this man with the perfect message at the perfect time, something which all fans needed to hear, and something which would come to define the next near decade of the club. The Pearson message of hope, a message for those Liverpool supporters: we have to change from doubter to believer, and that's exactly what we did. Number 9, victory over Dortmund. In a scenario so perfectly scripted you'd think Tarantino wrote it, Liverpool met Jurgen Klopp's former club Dortmund in a sort of new girlfriend meets the old one situation. The first leg didn't exactly live up to the hype, ending in a 1-1 sort of stale draw following goals from Divock Origi, aka the Messiah, and Mats Hummels, meaning the return leg at Anfield was all to play for. The match got off to the worst start possible, with Henrik Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang both scoring in the first 9 minutes, leaving Liverpool with it all to do. A goal from Divock Origi looked to get the comeback rolling, but another Dortmund goal from Marco Reus put a bullet right into the head of that plan, like old Yeller being put down. But just when it looked like hope was running out, something was sparked in the side, which was the first glimpse of the fighting spirit which would define the Jurgen Klopp era of Liverpool Football Club, with Coutinho and Mamadou Sakho both getting on the score sheet to level things out before a historic late match-winning header from Dejan Lovren sent Liverpool screaming into the semi-finals of the European competition. This moment was defining, as it showed so much grit, so much steely determination that Klopp sides were known for. This was a time where we showed we can compete with all of Europe and give it as good as we got. Number 8, Barcelona by Felipe Coutinho. The start of the 2017-2018 season saw Liverpool playing some of the best attacking football in recent memory, with the so-called Fab Four of Roberto Firmino, Mo Salah, Sadio Mane and of course Felipe Coutinho all tearing opposition defences to shreds like a cat off a piece of paper. However, these performances attracted the attention of the Spanish giants and eventual La Liga winners that season, Barcelona, with the Blaugrana agreeing a deal for the Brazilian magician on the 6th of January 2018 for a rumoured estimated price of £105 million. At the time, the thought of Liverpool losing Coutinho was a nightmare, with the midfielder contributing 7 goals and 6 assists in 14 Premier League appearances. And at the time of his departure, even Klopp tried to convince the player to remain at the club, saying if he stayed, he'd have a statue made in his honour rather than just being another player at another club. Alas, the magician decided to make the move, and Liverpool once again greeted by a sense of misery following a player's departure to the Spanish giants, following in the likes of Javier Mascherano and Luis Suarez. This was a fall back to reality, as Liverpool fans once again felt like they were a journey club rather than the destination, and that until we once again won silverware, this would be a repeating trend for the club. However, what happened next following this transfer would change the course of Jurgen Klopp's time at Liverpool forever. Number 7, Liverpool sign Virgil van Dijk. Without a doubt, this is one of the most defining moments of the Jurgen Klopp era of Liverpool Football Club, and in some ways, this could be viewed as one of the greatest transfers in the history of the Premier League. On the 27th of December 2017, Liverpool and Southampton will reach a deal worth £75 million for the sale of long sought after transfer target Virgil van Dijk, and this is viewed as one of the most important moments of Jurgen Klopp's time at Liverpool, with this transfer viewed as a crucial turning point that would turn Liverpool from top 4 hopefuls into title contenders. Van Dijk established himself as one of Europe's best centre-backs, with his defensive ability massively contributing to Liverpool's incredible defensive record in the 2018-19 Premier League campaign, in which the Reds only conceded 22 goals, only 7 more than Jose Mourinho's Chelsea, and came within 1 point of the league title, losing only one match that season to Manchester City. Van Dijk was a pivotal moment for the club that showed they were capable of signing big name players and established themselves as European giants once again. He'd gone to finish second in the 2019 Ballon d'Or, one of the biggest robberies ever by the way, and lead the backline of Liverpool to multiple pieces of silverware during one of the biggest success periods in the club's history. This transfer showed that the club had a clear vision about where they wanted to be, and with Jurgen Klopp at the helm, they knew how they were going to get there. Number 6, Liverpool lose the 2018 Champions League final. Like I said before, not all the memories are good, but thanks to Jurgen Klopp, failure can eventually be a driver for success. And while during previous regimes, defeats would have brought down this giant of a club, Klopp instilled a certain belief into the squad, and nothing showed this more than after Liverpool lost the 2018 Champions League final to Real Madrid in Kiev. The night itself can be viewed as nothing less than a nightmare, with Karius at fault for 2 of the 3 goals Liverpool conceded in a display that turned the fan base against the German shot stopper quick as anything. However, despite the crushing defeat to the Spanish giants, Liverpool used this as a chance to develop, and it brought attention to key things that needed to be addressed. The midfield needed fresh legs, the winger positions needed more depth beyond Salah and Mane, the established front three needed more people behind them, and of course we needed a reliable goalkeeper who could become a trusted number 1 for the club. This defeat was pivotal for the side, not only mentally but financially, with the club investing in players the following summer transfer window who propelled the club to success beyond their wildest dreams. Defeat was never the end under Jurgen Klopp, and if you want a perfect example of that, then look no further than number 5, corner taken quickly. There isn't one day that goes by where I don't miss Divock Origi. He's the most perfect man in all of football, and I wish he would return to the club in some way or another. This was one of the best seasons and almost the perfect season in Liverpool's history, with the side competing for the Premier League title and also reaching the Champions League semi-finals, playing Coutinho poaching, Suarez stealing, Mascherano robbing Barcelona, and came away from the first leg 3-0 down, following a near perfect display from the side that would visit Anfield 1 week later. And on the 7th of May 2019, we would bear witness to one of the greatest comebacks in the history of Champions League football, thanks to an early goal from Divock Origi, 2 superb finishes from Gini Wijnaldum that will put us level on aggregate 3-3 before one of the greatest moments in the history of the club took place. After 78 minutes of Barcelona peppering Liverpool's shot goal with shots only to be denied by a world-class Alisson on the day, Klopp's army would win a corner, and rather than trying to tactically outwit the Spanish outfit, a moment of brilliance from Trent Alexander-Arnold led to a match-winning goal, with the Englishman catching all of the Barcelona players off guard, crossing the ball into the box for an alert Divock Origi to finish in a moment that felt like it transcended all rationale. The corner that defied the odds in a match that, without Mo Salah, without Roberto Firmino, Liverpool overturned the deficit and became back-to-back Champions League finalists. Before the match, the quote of Jurgen Klopp rang through the media, with the German saying to the players before the match, "It's impossible, but because it's you, we have a chance." And this was a moment that perfectly summed up the never say die attitude of Jurgen Klopp. Number 4, Liverpool beat Leicester Boxing Day 2019 in a season which had only one aim. The Premier League title was all that mattered for Jurgen Klopp's men. Following the second place finish the season before, Liverpool had a point to prove by winning the illustrious title that had eluded them throughout the entirety of their Premier League career. While the 3-1 victory over Man City that season at Anfield was vital and the 5-2 demolition of Merseyside rivals Everton was a lot of fun, it was the 4-0 victory over Leicester which turned fans onto the idea that the league was there to be won. There was a light at the end of the tunnel, and following superb goals from Firmino and a penalty from James Milner, we were blessed with a goal from Trent Alexander-Arnold which set the fan base alight. This match, in which we decimated top 4 contenders and former Premier League winners Leicester City, showed that we could rise to the big occasions. And while we had tasted league disappointment before, this time we weren't going down without a fight. For the first time, we truly believed we were the dominant force in England, and Klopp did exactly what he said he would do. He turned us from doubters into believers, and this match was the point in the season in which we went on a steam-rolling run of form and won our first league title in 30 years. Number 3, Liverpool win the Premier League. A dream was realised on the 25th of June 2020 when Chelsea beat Manchester City 2-1 to gift Liverpool their first ever Premier League title and their first taste of league success since 1990. Klopp said when he first arrived at the club he'd win a league title within 4 years, and he delivered, with records galore being set along the way, including in a strange series of events, the earliest and latest Premier League title won with COVID putting the league on hold for 3 months and leaving fans in a constant state of fear with leagues in other countries getting cancelled. Fans had to wait for silverware to be lifted at Anfield, and without a doubt, this is the most important moment of Jurgen Klopp's reign at the club. The league title was something which the likes of Graham Souness, Gerard Houllier, Rafa Benitez, Brendan Rodgers, none of them could deliver. And the fact that this man who had so much expectation, so much hype, so much pressure on him was able to achieve what he said he would in the time that he did is a true testament to how brilliant of a manager he has been for Liverpool. No matter what the circumstances were in the world surrounding us, this moment of Jurgen Klopp crying after winning the Premier League title will forever live on in the memories of fans, and this is a moment which I will remember for the rest of my life. Number 2, Van Dijk gets injured in 2019. Pickford is going to be burned in the darkest parts of my brain. The This Is England lookalike deciding that during the Merseyside derby on the 17th of October 2020, he wanted to try his best Cobra Kai impression and sweep the leg of Virgil van Dijk, injuring the defender for 254 days. This moment of kung fuckery single-handedly crippled Liverpool's campaign, with the Reds entering a horrific period of injuries to the likes of Joel Matip, Joel Gomez, Fabinho, etc, etc. And once again, it took a moment of misery to highlight the weaknesses of this football club, and the need for top defenders was on full display for all to see. The aim for this campaign went from title fight to top 4 contenders once again, but following injuries to the players previously mentioned, the Reds would look to players who no one would have imagined of, with emergency signings of Ozan Kabak on loan and Ben Davies for £2 million in January, proving the lack of depth in the defensive parts of Liverpool's game. However, despite this, and despite the fact that Liverpool had to rely on youth academy prospect Reece Williams and absolute brick shithouse Nat Phillips, the grit and determination of Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool once again shone through, with the side picking up enough positive results to finish in the top 4 on the final day of the season with a victory over Crystal Palace. This showed that it doesn't matter who's in the side, it doesn't matter what the circumstances were, because this man is in charge, and there was always a belief that we could do anything. And number 1, the announcement. On the 26th of January 2024, the world of Liverpool Football Club was shaken to its absolute core when Jurgen Klopp made the announcement he would be leaving the club at the end of the season. It's news that no one was expecting, and something that fans of the club didn't think they'd have to deal with for at least another 2 years, with Klopp signing a contract just a couple of years before. However, after watching the video, it was clear for all to see why he was doing it, with legend saying he was running out of energy and could not stay at the club if he was not able to give 100% at all times. As fans, we can be blinded by the idea that managers can go forever and that they're footballing robots, but it's just not the case. Klopp has given his all to this club and to the fans for the better part of a decade, and has delivered some of the greatest moments in the history of this great football club. We won silverware, broke records, signed some of the most unbelievable players the club has ever seen. The man who's given us all for us deserves to go out on his own terms and has gifted us with so much happiness over the years. I've said that if Liverpool was a person, it would be Jurgen Klopp, and that's something I'll always believe. He's a legend of the football club and is a modern day icon who took us from the depths of mediocrity to the highest peaks of success. Things haven't always been perfect, but he's defied the odds and made us proud to support this great club once again. He's someone who stories will be told about for years to come. He's someone who's going to live in the history of this club. Thank you, Jurgen Klopp, for the memories that you've given us, and thank you for turning us from doubters into believers. And that's our list. If you are new around here, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. I want to reach 500 by the end of next month. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.